Hello, hello, hello. I have the feeling that every time I come here doing this thing, there's a new setup. So once the microphone is here, like this, then the table is here, then it's just all changing all the time. But hello, everyone. I've seen that we have Ken with us today. Hi, Ken. Hi, Sergeant Z-Dog. I am going on holiday from time to time. I don't know how the professional thing is related to the going on a holiday thing, but I'd say that I usually go on holiday when there's a lot to do, and so that I can leave everyone in a very bad place and come back and there's so much to do, I just get buried under a lot of stuff. So today I've been spending my whole day trying to catch up, and I've been literally thrown into this 4 minutes ago. So forgive me if I don't have all the information, but this would probably also make it as in I can give away a lot more because I don't know what I cannot say. The timer has stopped. Let's hope the juicy news is on BA. Hello. BA as in, I guess, Battle Academy. No, I'm joking. Broken Arrow. There's news about Broken Arrow too. Yes, of course. We have some news. And we can also report on a number of other things. So first things first, there's been quite a lot of movement on some of the games, particular Starship Troopers and Battle Sector. So I'll start from that, and then we can answer questions as we go. Napoleonic announcement we know from last week, of course. And so first things first, Starship Troopers. So we just are back from, well, not me, but a core part of our marketing and producers team back from WSD in London. We have some pictures and videos about it as well. The show there was very successful. I would say that in general we had probably around 50% more people turning up compared to last year. It was it was a lot of fun. A lot of people really enjoyed the setup. So the core thing we had this setup where we basically had one side of the stand was training area, and the other side of the stand was the lava challenge, as you can see from the image. And it was pretty cool because we started off this thing where, we gave a lava challenge score to reach, which was, I think, 1,500. If you reach 1,500, you can, you get a t-shirt. And we saw a lot of people struggling or not getting to 1,500 enough so that we could give away all the t-shirts. So we started trying to sort of lower the threshold. We ended up having a maximum amount of points to get the t-shirts of 750, and that allowed us to have to give away a lot of the shirts and also have a lot of happy people there. Lots of also nice feedback on the social networks after that. I think that it's interesting to see that Starship Troopers is always being discovered all the time by new people, so it's cool to see that a lot of people don't know the game are finding it super fun and want to sort of go back and play it again and again and again. So I like it. I like the idea of having these live games where we can keep going back to them and keep trying to find ways of exploring ways to sell it to different people that didn't find it out on day one or more. So, and you can see that happening in in sales, but also in people wish listing the game and following our social media for the game as well. So that's really cool. Which urges me to say as well that of course we have stuff happening on the future of what did the T-shirt look like? Haha. Do we have any left here? Do you have any left here in the office?
No, but it appeared on the video.
It's in the video somewhere, but we're gonna show it to you at some point also. Can we do Birmingham? London is a long way. I know. We should do more of these. The thing is, from a marketing cost perspective, there's a lot happening in these shows, but still we've got a lot of, it's very expensive for what we get out of it. So it's a kind of a tricky situation. We would love to do more. Here it is. Here's the T-shirt. We would love to do more, but it's very expensive to sort of move things around and be present at these shows. So, all in all, very successful. I was saying we have lots happening on Starship Troopers. We have Urban Onslaught, which is the next DLC in a game for the game, which will launch later on this quarter. We have the beta, the closed beta announcement went out this week or last. But so if you want to join the closed beta for Urban Onslaught, make sure you go on slitherine.com/beta and subscribe there. We have a lot of places for you guys to enjoy the game firsthand. Trying to answer asterisks here before the thing disappears from the chat. Marco, on a serious note, I had CDs for all the SSG games. Is there any chance that could be rebundled? I would happily purchase a digital edition of those. They have no competition. Similar games are not made anymore. Single edition with a game. Oh, these are old ones. Asterix, Kharkov. Was it Corson Pocket as well? And some of these. Well, it's something we'd probably have to think about. Yeah, old but gold. Yeah, not something we have in the plans for remastering these, but there has to be something. If you had CDs and CD serial number, you probably can re-download your games from the website, can you not? Send us over a ticket on support, and we're trying to see what we can do with that. I'm pretty sure there's stuff we can do with the old codes. I had them pre-digital edition. Good idea. Yeah, send a support ticket. I'm pretty sure they're gonna help you out. I mean, we know you're a friend of ours. So that was for Urban Onslaught. There's also on Starship Troopers a new dev diary being published on the website. A lot more about the new units and the stuff that Lucas is preparing for you for this new DLC. As I said, Starship Troopers is very much one of the games where we are sort of investing more time and energy on, because it's proven to be an interesting mix of a lot of new players, but a lot of core RTS fans are playing, enjoying it and keep enjoying it. And we've seen this with the first DLC, Raising Hell. There's a lot of people played the first DLC. What we call the attach rate. So the number of people who own the main game buying the DLC as well. The attach rate was very, very high. So there has to be hunger for more content on Starship Troopers. So we're looking at more opportunities there, but also looking at more content and making sure that the content release is balanced enough so it doesn't get too hard, but also delivers a nice, well-rounded story around it. So good job on Lucas and Artistocrats for doing a great job at sustaining the game, supporting the game over time. Also, I'm just rechecking the chat here. So, Battle Sector also. Yes, exactly. So, Asterix, going back to Asterix's question, so Battle Sector, we have announced this week that we are sort of, effectively taking over on the development of the future of Battle Sector. I have to say that starting this, there's going to be more news about this, in the coming weeks. So we're preparing a pipeline of announcement here. So the first thing we wanted to say was, right, we're working on the future of the game. And Battle Sector for us is an interesting game because it's ultimately a perfect example of what we're trying to do with our, products. It's, deliver a core game experience that really, is, broader, that, as broad as possible in terms of trying to reach to as many strategy fans as possible, and please them as well, of course, but also build on it over time. And as you know, Warhammer is a property where you can do a lot with factions, and we've been doing that for Gladius for a long time. But Battle Sector proved that there's a lot more you can do. So with us taking over, I think that what we're looking at is broadening that view of the future of Battle Sector means a lot more than, it means releasing more factions, but it means a lot more. There's a lot of opportunities there for not only delivering more quality of life improvements and improve on what's already there, but also add to it and make it so that Battle Sector really resonates around the Warhammer community as the sort of best possible option for playing Warhammer battles, Warhammer 40k battles on digital form. So us thinking over means that really. It means that we are, investing a lot of energy and time into looking at the future of this game and franchise, and deliver what fans have been asking for. And having said that, and I was looking at just slightly looking at the chat, going from there to there, but so on Black Lab Games, we can't say what they're doing, and so we don't know. But I have to say that that we've been working with the Black Lab Games for 10 years, and they're just a fantastic bunch. They have been working on probably some of the games that helped us grow as a company more than anything else. Battlestar Galactica and Battle Sector, two games that in a way or another helped us break through a much wider audience. So I'd love to sort of have the absolute biggest outstanding thank you from us and from the team, because they have been doing an exceptional job at everything they've done so far. So, and Starhammer, of course, Shards, thank you for that. But yes, so looking at the future, it's very exciting, I have to say, very exciting. We've got so much happening and so many discussions about Battle Sector internally. And investing in it means that we can put more energy, money into these, and hopefully deliver stuff that everyone was asking for, has been asking for a long time. That's what's happening. What I can say about Battle Sector, but believe me, stick with us. But because there's a lot going to be announced in the coming weeks, and Francesco really, really wants me to spoil a lot of stuff, but I can't. So I'm sorry for that. Warhammer, make sure your DLC is not too cheap. I guess that that's a good point, Astro. No, I think that overall, you've seen it from when we released the free unit the free new unit in I think it was December last year. We're trying to balance a lot between free content and paid for content, because I think Battle Sector has so much opportunity to attract new people. You want the right balance there, and it's not always easy. But I think that there's enough there that we can ask for money, because we have to fund these developments, but also give away as much as we can. New strategic goal for Battle Sector to War East 2 in 1 week. Why not? Why not? I wouldn't try that with everyone, but some of you can make it. Is there a standard way to acquire games? It seems to marry this. Let's a small company with from scratch expertise get it off the ground and purchase what IP. Not really. Not really. Doesn't work like that. I mean, not for us. I mean, what happens? Is that I'm trying to word this in a proper way, but basically what happens is that sometimes you have something that works and you want to take it into some directions, and the developers maybe don't have the capacity or the will or the vision or strategic vision, or they just can't do it, or for whatever reason. And I think that industry-wide, this is what happens, is basically that you have, publishers and developers are always, coming from different perspective, and putting these two perspectives together is sometimes works, sometimes doesn't, and especially when you've got ongoing products that are, have a very long lifespan, you keep trying to tinker with, what the market wants, and what we should do, and kind of what works, what doesn't, and so on, and it happens like this. It's not really a way of making things happen or not, as in exploiting someone and then going and buying it or whatever. It's really dynamics, and that's really how it works. Did I just diverge too much from it? Probably got too late now. But what's the closed beta about Fog Kingdoms, Fog 2 Medieval? What's the closed beta about on Fog 2 Medieval? Kingdoms or something else? You know more Dante? I would not know. But Annie in the chat will probably be able to answer you, hopefully. If not, then you probably made that up to make me spill some bean, maybe? Who knows? Going back to news stuff, there's a new update for Terminator Dark Fate Defiance, and there's a Kingdoms closed beta. We love beans. I'll spare you the story about beans. There's a new update on Terminator. I was saying Terminator was one of the biggest success of the start of year for us. The game started up very, very well. We've been super pleased on how our players reacted to the launch of the game. So much so that we have decided to sort of, again, going back to what I was saying, give some free content to the players out there. So the new update, which is entirely free, adds a new game mode, two game modes, which is basically a scavenger mode. And I think there was a video. Was it not a video? Yes. Just go for the video. So all this stuff coming available for free to anyone who has Terminator Dark Fate Defiance. Again, the stuff about Dark Fate, we're looking at the roadmap that we want to deliver in the coming months and years. It's an interesting space, the RTS space, because we have we're coming from the perspective that we are the experts in turn-based strategy games, but over the last 2 years we've released RTSs in Starship Troopers and Terminator Dark Fate Defiance, both of them doing very, very well. So I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised on how well we and the development teams have nailed these 2 games, as in making great products and also making people and players happy. So we are ready and determined to invest more as we go on these, and we're very much aligned with the community and what they want, especially for Terminator, what they want in the future, and what we can deliver. We'll be able This is Yog Dog as well. It's discovered yesterday when I was reminded the old beta form for last month, Mordante. Really, really fun. Yeah, I think the campaign on Terminator is you know, one of the things that really, you know, both on Starship TR and Terminator, you know, one of the things that, you know, we kept saying over time, and you can go back to all the tea times and such, you know, we want to make sure that we do more storytelling, and as a company doing mainly turn-based strategy games based on World War II and so on, storytelling wasn't really our cup of tea, you know, it was our comfort zone. So investing in storytelling is super hard, is super expensive, and you really got to get it right. I think on this, I have to say, you know, big kudos to you know, the developers on Terminator, but also Mark Hardy-Steele's been you know, spending a lot of time in, you know, nailing down, you know, doing the right thing, and, you know, catching the right dialogues and making sure these dialogues work, and voiceover and that kind of stuff. That's really, really, you know, a big part of his work, and so congrats, Mark. Big kudos to Mark on that. There's more Starship Troopers, but I'll get back to that in a moment. Slitherine is probably my, I know, along with Helldivers, Yog Dog. I love Helldivers too. I think it's a really great game. Okay, couple of things that for the 5 minutes on hardcore wargaming, there's a lot of content being released, and Liam has been working on a lot of stuff recently. We have just published a new article on the Insider called The Armory. This is a series of you know, drilling down on specific equipment on different subjects of war. We've got, like, we had Cold War, we had different types of equipment there being covered. This one specifically, it's about infantry in World War II, where we go basically dig out a bit more information about this specific subject, and we do it with the help of Headquarters World War II, which again, another, you know, successful launch we had recently, and so yeah, things are going well. The other thing is we have just published a new episode of the Rule the Waves 3, video series about the history of the Navy. This particular one is on Second World War, you know, World War. Seems to be like an interesting subject and live subject for today. We are going to show you this video in particular now, and then we're getting back to the tea time.
The bombing of Pearl Harbor crippled or sank half of the US battleships then in service. This was not the first time aircraft had attacked a fleet in port. The Battle of Taranto had seen obsolete swordfish torpedo bombers cripple and sink Italian battleships. Whilst dreadnoughts and battlecruisers still had roles to play, the carrier was beginning to dominate naval actions. Both gunnery and aircraft operations were significantly improved with the introduction of radar. Early radar sets were fragile and low fidelity, but in the years before and during the war, the technology had rapidly improved. By tracking enemy signatures, a capital ship could still detect and engage targets even if they were obscured by rain and storms, or they could effectively fight at night. Carriers could also use radar to vector aircraft to intercept enemy bombers, or to coordinate large-scale attacks. With this enhanced threat from the air, most capital ships were refitted with extra anti-aircraft mounts, utilizing every bit of deck space to mount 20 and 40mm autocannon. Displacing 2,500 tons fully loaded, new large destroyers like the Fletcher class were now the workhorses of the fleet. 5 dual-purpose 5-inch guns could be used to engage surface targets or add to the fleet's anti-aircraft screen. With 10 torpedo tubes each with a 14-kilometer range, squadrons of Fletchers were a major threat to any capital ship that closed with them as well. depth charge launchers and active sonar made them fairly effective in anti-submarine operations. World War II was asymmetric in the Atlantic. With no high seas fleet, Germany used her capital ships as convoy raiders with very little success. Bismarck was crippled by aircraft and sunk by surface ships on her maiden voyage. Tirpitz was destroyed in an air raid after being confined to port for months. German submarine raiders saw some early successes attacking Allied convoys, but ultimately suffered extreme losses when anti-submarine warfare skills and technology improved. By contrast, the American submarine blockade of Japan was incredibly successful as the Imperial Japanese Navy failed to develop effective tactics and technology for submarine hunting. The Pacific saw far more pitched battles between both battleships and carrier fleets. The Second Naval Battle of Guadalcanal had Japanese and American capital ships trading gunfire in a night action, and the battles of the Coral Sea, Midway, and the Philippine Sea saw carriers sink the majority of the capital ships lost. Operation Tengo, when the Japanese super-dreadnought Yamato was destroyed, had almost entirely been a battle of American aircraft attacking Japanese surface ships. By the end of the war, the Americans had 28 fleet carriers in service. While naval gunfire was still useful for supporting landings or to protect carriers from other vessels, the battleship was no longer the primary killer of surface ships. Aircraft were. The Germans had fielded a prototype radio-guided glide bomb during the war called Fritz X. Guided weapons and rocketry would redefine naval armament after the Second World War, further amplifying the destructive power of aircraft and smaller warships.
Sorry, I just found out that Madison Keys has lost her semi-final, so I'm a bit depressed now. Anyway, that was Rule the Waves 3, Episode 4. Liam, great job. You're doing a fantastic job with these videos. It's like, I think we should package all these together when we're done and do these as documentaries, because there's more information in these, and they're so well scripted that I have to say that they're doing the game a great service, first of all, but they're also great pieces of content. So congrats to the content team and to Liam in particular for scripting these and making these happen. So absolutely great job there. There's also, I won't run the whole thing because we're running out of time. There's also new video for, which again, episode 4 for on the nuclear war simulator series. This one is about the effects of fallout. So I'll spare you the depression of looking at nuclear bombing for today, but that's also available, and you can find it on our YouTube channel. In the meantime, I see that you're discussing Tarkov, Helldivers, and Grey Zone as well. Just released, which is really good. And oh my God, just like Fallout TV show, we love nukes. Fallout TV show is actually one piece of television that's making waves of discussion in the upper floor. Some loved it, some not that much. Annie likes it a lot. I'm on the kind of not great, not great, but I didn't really. Did you see the Bad Batch? Mad Menon 21. I am so depressed about the finale of Bad Batch. It was just so underwhelming. I have to say that. I was talking about it with Miki this morning, and he was like, Dave Filoni had this thing where, he invested 90% of his time on Series 1 and 50% of his time on Season 2 and like 1% of his time in Season 3, and just like signing stuff off. So I wasn't really excited about the ending. It was a big missed opportunity in my opinion. Shogun is really good, by the way. Actually, Mika, are you agreeing? Shogun good? Yeah, good stuff. Yeah. Andor is the new standard. Andor is the new standard. Yeah. Have you seen the articles? I'm diverging now, but have you seen the articles? There's a lot of articles about the premiere pre-screenings of the Gladiator 2 at Las Vegas that happened the day before yesterday, and everyone seemed to love it, which is weird. I wasn't expecting anything good from that movie, but apparently it's very, very, very good from anyone who's watched it first time. So I'm now looking forward to it, and I wasn't. So that's interesting. But let's see what happens in that. What's Mickey's take on Fallout? Mickey likes Fallout a lot. He's like 3 thumbs up, whatever. Taking on tangents is a great sport, though. Yeah, sorry, Asterix. Sorry, I'm going back to the stuff. I think you're right. So on the series of number 4s, we had episode 4 of Rule the Waves, episode 4 of Nuclear War Simulator. We have episode 4 of the Modern Naval Warfare Navilogs. There's is that on the Matrix? I think it's on the Matrix website and on the product page. There's a lot of information there about how the launch of missiles happen in the game. You can actually see how much detail goes into making these the simulation. It's incredible. I have to say that when I read it, usually I read our stuff on tactical war games or whatever, and I understand about 90% of it, or like 80% of it. Thank you. Maybe David will say 70% of it. But on modern naval warfare, I feel like I need to learn a lot when we launch this game, because if I want to have proper conversation with the audience about it, so I promise I'll study more. So this was for, there's one more info. There's a beta feedback article that was just released on Strategic Command World War II, War in the Pacific. We tried to make a longer title than Strategic Command World War I, Empires in Turmoil. I think we made it. We count the letters. Probably not by a small margin. But anyway, there's a new article that went out on the Matrix Games website. You can find it there. It's an interesting read, and the game is approaching release. So you have more information about the game. So before I get to I'll say the BA news. So BA, but not Battle Academy, but Broken Arrow. So Broken Arrow, how things are going. So there's a lot. We're now focusing on developing the developers are looking at developing the campaign, which involves AI, which involves scripting the campaign and making sure the campaign is fun. So in the meantime, there's a lot of fixing going on the multiplayer. We're planning to run a second wave of multiplayer beta around September, probably earlier, probably later, we don't know exactly, but around the beginning of September it should start. The idea is that this is going to be our final beta for multiplayer, and the single player beta will happen as a closed beta alongside that. And so the idea is really that that will give us the final go ahead to launch the game. So we're almost like, it seems like a long time away, but the idea is that there's always this saying that to make the last 10% of the game requires 90% of the effort, and so that's really the plan we've got right now. Summer multiplayer, multiplayer beta, and then getting closer to release after that. And as Neil is saying, there's more invites going out to the Scramble beta, which is proving to be super successful. Lots of very positive feedback on that. Lots of very positive vibes, I would say. And there's a lot more happening on Scramble as well. So much happening, so much happening. It's crazy. I mean, I could have a list of upcoming games and forget about what we're doing on the existing ones. I'm very interested in Black Powder and Bolt Action. I don't know who said that. You mean the tabletop games, I guess, the Warlord tabletop games, both great games, both interesting propositions there. Just got here. Was there any news, Battle Sector news? Well, broad ideas, Ballroom Brian, broad ideas about Battle Sector news, but, sort of trying to flesh out the news we released this week. And, Asterix Mordante, we should form a Discord channel about these tabletop conversions because that's very interesting. So let's keep thinking about stuff like that. Anything on Combat Mission? Nothing we can say. And I'm not drunk, so I cannot spoil anything. But there's a lot happening on Combat Mission right now. Did I forget about anything here? Oh, there's this big TG thing on Starship Troopers. Can you run it on the background? This is an interesting thing. I think that you can. When I saw this, I was like, it's incredible what happens when you let your community loose. And Big TG has released a series of 4 videos, I think, about him building stuff on the map editor for Starship Troopers. And if you look at these videos, you realize, the importance of input from the community. It's invaluable in, so many different ways. It's a fantastic way of understanding why, building games and having communities to, contribute. It's not because this is going to be a sellable item or it's because we're looking at exploiting this. It's just that fascinating that it's almost like, you could release a game and that game becomes a thing of its own. And you could almost see it grow without, our input or the developer's input. And sometimes things just, go on their own, and it's fascinating. So if you're interested in looking at some really cool, interesting stuff, just go there and check out these videos. They're absolutely fantastic, and these people maybe one day become contributors to the game. This is how many of our current DLC developers have been starting with us. Starting modding the games, and starting working with us over time. Kerensky is a good example of that. He started building content for, I think it was Panzer Corps, and then still actively developing stuff for us, with great ideas, design ideas and such, and and they become an absolutely crucial part of the game development over time. Just checking on the chat. Nothing major. No, I don't think so. So I'll finish this up saying there's sign-ups for tournaments open, and the Valor in Victory new tournament is open called Operation Overlord. You can check it out. There's I think there's a few places left for that. Then we have there's 2 Field of Glory tournament, one medieval, one ancients, both kicking off around the middle of May. You can subscribe to these as well. And Order of Battle one kicking off on the 15th. It will be available for sign up from May 7th. There's also currently in testing, a new tournament system for Battle Sector, the knockout tournaments. You'll be able to, instead of playing the Swiss chess tournament, structure, basically, having, knockout phases where you basically get to a quarterfinal or, whatever round of XYZ, and then up to quarterfinal, semifinal, and final. it's going to roll out on Battle Sector very soon after the betas. Beta seems to be doing very well, so we should be rolling it out soon. There's also currently a lot of discounts. You can buy a lot of all the combat mission games up to 50% off on Steam. Same goes for Master of Magic, up to 50% off. There's Battle Academy, up to 70% off for the whole franchise, and Field of Glory, up to 75% off. So finish your collection of DLCs if you want. Then we have on the Matrix and Slitherine websites, you have the Operation Art of War, 60% off. ICBM, 30% off. Drums of War, Ravenmark, and Hell, up to 85% off. There's a streaming schedule I owe you, which goes on a big screen now. Big screen now. Big screen now. Thursday, so today after this, I'm late, sorry Yog, we have Terminator Dark Fate Defiance. Tomorrow for Slitherine streams we have Stargate at 6 with Yog Dog, Terminator with XTRG at 8 p.m. and Gamer Goes Headquarters at 10 p.m. on Saturday. Yog Dog is playing Terminator at 4 p.m. For Matrix Monday, we have, which is going to be the 6th of May, I think. So Sergeant Z-Dog playing Flashpoint campaigns at 6. Richard Yog playing Combat Mission at 8. And Yog Dog playing Shadow Empire at 10. For a late night Shadow Empire. And then on Tuesday, Yog plays Terminator. And at 4 p.m. And Wednesday, we have Yog playing Headquarters at 4 p.m. That's next week. I think I'm done for the day. I'm late, and so sorry for taking some time off the stream, but I'm sure that you'll make it back. Thanks for following us. Thanks for all the nice chats. I love to be taken to a tangent, so if you want to have more conversation about TV shows, new music releases or movie releases or anything else, just shout. I think there's more we can save for chit chats in the future, but in half an hour that's what we can cover. Thanks for following us, and I'll see you all next week. Bye bye.